Welcome to the A F.o.O.L Podcast. This is episode 56, and tonight we're going to talk about why I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes. Turns out it was a refrigerator.
What's up, guys? Mardigrasman23 here, and I am in a new location. I am actually in Indiana. I am close to Joey, yet too far away from Joey. Yeah. I'm in Indiana like Joey, but I'm still in a different time zone. I can't figure it out. So I'm Mardigrasman23 up there is still can't get it right. Doesn't matter where I'm at. That is, I'm on my iPad. This is all crazy.
BrickTrains.
That is Joey, aka BrickTrains, and that is Jabo, aka BrickTsar. And if you didn't know, this is filmed in front of a live studio audience of two.
Doubled our audience. Say two.
Oh my, not that again.
Hey,
yes.
This is we have tied Joe DiMaggio.
Tied him.
Yeah, he had a 56 game hit streak, and this is our 56th hit episode.
Yeah, wow.
Excellent. One away.
Can we break
one away from breaking the record?
Okay, so let's go with your vault set.
Okay, so
you intrigued my interest here.
So this is a set that I've been wanting for a while because it has the Deadpool fig in it. Mm-hmm. So I was actually at a place today called It's a Block Party. Joey, did you know that place existed?
I did not.
It is full of let's see. It's called It's a Block Party. It is on Southport Road in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay.
It is a resale store. I guess it's like Atlanta Brick Company. A lot bigger inside than it looks from the outside, full of new sets, used sets. So I asked them if they had a Deadpool because I've been wanting that figure for a while, and they actually had one, and it was like $60. I'm like, oh, that's way too much. But they had this.
You said $60?
Yes.
Okay.
And then they had this, and it was 20% off used set. So I still thought it was too much, but with the 20% off, my son-in-law was like, get it. It's your birthday. Get it. So I checked it. It was 100% complete. Or it seems to be. All the figs are in there. The Deadpool and the Wolverine are in pristine condition. So I went ahead and got it. So this is my new. This falls under Jabo's category of I paid too much for it. But anyway,
maybe not. I mean.
So the reason the set is you can find it complete without a box for around $80 on eBay. With the box, it's $100 to $120, roughly, probably a little bit more. So, and if you want it sealed, it's going to run you over $200. So the question I have for you guys is that if Deadpool hits the MCU like he's supposed to, and Wolverine shows up in the MCU like he's supposed to, and they start making a few more sets that have Deadpool and MCU and Wolverine figs, what does that do to the value of the figs in this set?
Well, first, my gut will be they will show up in the MCU or in other sets, but I bet they don't make exact copies.
That's what I was going to say. That's like, I think it would only make these go up.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like it's not going to be like the order of magnitude like the Cloud City Boba Fett, but it's making more Boba Fett's doesn't cause the value of that to go down. And this is the original Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it'll pique other people's interest.
Yeah.
Once the new stuff comes out, it will. I'm going to silence my phone. Sorry. Yeah, it'll pique people's interest in going back and getting the other ones if they didn't already have them. So
the good thing is it is open. It's in an open box, but the box is in really, really good shape. I mean, it's really good shape. So I can build it. But my question to Jabo is, do I want to build it because of that maroon colors in the helicopter?
Ooh.
And all I would do would be building it and taking it right back apart.
Now here's the question: which version of the set did you get?
Because
there are two. okay, so you could have a set. This is especially with a used one. Now, it's likely since you got the box that you probably got the same box and instructions that it came with.
Mhm.
But if somebody was kind of like piecing it together, there's two different versions of the instructions and two different inventories for this set. And you need to have the version that matches the pieces that you have. And it's a minor change in the structure of the helicopter. I found this out because I parted out 5 of these.
Oh,
And I had these pieces don't add up. And then when you look at the parts,
look at the parts.
Yeah, look at the parts.
Okay.
And go down to the bottom. And when you see, let's see, extra, go to alternate.
Alternate.
Look at these are unusual alternate items, like a 2x6 brick.
Oh, the head, the
head
and
is
the
an
head.
alternate?
Oh my! I didn't know the head was out.
The head is an alternate piece.
I've already sold all my Deadpools. Somebody probably got a different head. I did not realize there were 2 versions of Deadpool's head.
Oh, and
See what the price of the alternate version is
of the head. Looks like $5 somewhere in that neighborhood.
I just wonder if one's more rare than the other.
Well, I'd have to go back and see.
Oh, I know what it is. It's I think you get an extra. You get an extra. It's not under extra, is it? It's alternate.
It says alternate. So this is 3626 CPB 0703. Remember that.
Okay. 0703. 0703. 0703. It's the same thing.
No, it's BPB.
Oh.
07. No, it is different.
Oh.
So who knows? Okay,
Yeah,
this one is
blocked open stud. Okay.
Yeah.
The other one's probably open stud or something like that.
probably block. Yeah.
You have to look at it.
Hollow stud.
Hollow stud. Okay.
So it's the mold, not the print.
Yeah.
And I don't know that will affect the value.
Most people wouldn't notice that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he has a figure that doesn't have a headpiece.
Right.
I mean a hairpiece.
Well, though it looks like, it looks like this one here, the hollow stud is maybe a couple bucks cheaper.
Yeah. There's somebody with 482 of them. Where that came from? Are they in Hong Kong?
Well, how about the guy has 3,000 of them
3,700? Oh my goodness.
in the United States?
So
He probably bought them from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Probably.
This stuff like this, I just it's kind of sketchy to me.
Yeah, and that's did we talk about that last week? Okay. 2 weeks ago. I forget where we're at. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that bothers me because who gets 3,000, 4,000? I mean, really.
Yeah. And the pick-a-brick stuff wasn't really as common back in 2012. So, yeah, you got a lot of things to think about. I would check have you already checked your minifigures, Earl?
Yeah, well, I didn't check them that close, but I did check them to
make sure they weren't cracked.
Make sure they weren't cracked, and make sure.
Because a lot of the ones I saw listed said torso cracked.
Yeah. That's why one of the reasons I bought it, because they're in a little individual minifigure bag inside the baggie, and they look really clean.
The box looked good for a used box.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. But I think this is going to be one of those sets that it kind of has peaked for a little while now as far as the value. I've actually seen the Deadpool go for more than $60 at times. But
yeah, we need a new movie. It needs to make a new appearance, something, and then the value will start going back up again. We just need more public interest, you know.
But we can all think of sets that we thought, I don't want to pay that. It's so much more.
How about the She-Hulk set?
Yeah.
How about the She-Hulk set? Through the moon right now.
Yeah. It's like, the classic. When my son found out I sold the carousel, I was actually able to buy another one at close to the price that I sold the other one for. But the box was in much worse shape, but the pieces were fine. I did
That's good.
Yeah,
that's one of the all-time great moments in BrickTsar history. Wait, you sold it? What? You sold it?
That's also a set that has really maintained it's maintained its value. It's really kind of gone up.
Yeah.
You probably bought, like you said, one that didn't have as good a box as you sold, but
where are we at?
Yeah, so I got a comment. This is kind of an interesting. I'm gonna talk about Lego trains, but I got a comment on one of my videos, and I didn't write down who made the comment. Oh well, they'll know. They were talking about graffiti and like weathering your Lego trains, and I get that that's a big thing in model railroading, but I don't know. What did you guys think about? I mean, I know I have an opinion. What do you think about painting your Lego?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that. I could see maybe a few stickers to make it look like graffiti, but I'm not into painting it or just coloring it or weathering it.
So yesterday I was coming home from work, and I have two choices to go at this one red light. One comes up beside the racetrack, and you kind of go the back way. The other one's the mainstream way that everybody goes. But the problem is, if you go the back way, you go across railroad tracks. And yesterday, the train caught me, which is, I don't mind getting caught by a train. I like looking, and I was like, do I get my camera out? It could be,
right.
When I've not had my camera ready is when it's been something unusual. I'm like, sometimes what's that doing on the tracks, So then I saw the two CSX locomotives, and I'm like, okay. About 100 and something cars later, another engine comes by, and it's like 80 something cars after that. So anyway, like 100. This train had to have like 180 cars, right? And I was noticing graffiti. In some places, they have to scrub off the graffiti because it's got the information they need to identify the car.
Cars, yep.
And it's like, I hate graffiti on trains. And so why am I going to, even though that technically you'd be realistic if you're a modeler to the modern era, I just don't like it. It's like, I want to live in a world that doesn't have graffiti on my train cars.
Right. Yes. And to expand on his question, he was talking about the new sets and the color schemes, and he was like, if it's more realistic color schemes than like the bright lime greens and stuff, and he said, well, and I would like to see graffiti, and I think maybe stickers or something.
That would be the way to decals.
Yeah,
that would be the way to go. I can see somebody
overgo it. You can't do the reality where they just got graffiti after graffiti. But my thing is what happens to me is we would be running along, me and Dakota be playing with trains, and then all of a sudden the trains are on the floor, and we got to put it back together. And I would hate to match up that graffiti.
Oh yeah, the bricks fell apart.
Yeah. That would not be. Yeah. That would not be cool. So.
Yeah, my father-in-law, he weathered all his model trains. But that was his joy in the hobby,
right?
Doing that.
I think it would make more sense with a model railroad than a Lego railroad.
I do too.
Because modeling, you're trying to build all the scenery, trying to make the trains.
Right.
You're buying it generic. So you're trying to make it your own.
Right. Exactly. You put a lot of you into it.
Yeah.
I liked it in the heyday of USA railroads, where they took a lot of pride in trying to keep the locomotives clean, which is an expense to do. And then the freshly painted ones. I would love to see some of those passenger trains with in the streamlined era or whatever they call it, where they're the F&E units.
Right. Yeah. Yes. And they took a lot of pride in, back in the 50s and 60s. I don't know about 60s, but 40s, 50s, whatever. They took a lot of pride in keeping the train. I think the Union Pacific is a little bit, at least with their flagship stuff that they, like the Big Boy and the things that they, because they have a lot of engines that they decorate for things. I think they do a little better job of that, but they're not cleaning the rolling stock. Nobody's cleaning the rolling stock. So
yeah. One of those executive trains went by a couple months ago, and I missed it, and I wasn't in a position where I could go chase it down. You so rarely see them.
Yeah. They like a president's train for the
it's railroad? It's a passenger train, old style passenger train
Okay.
with the F units.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, me and Heather like to chase scenic railroads, little small railroads around. So that's it's a thing that we do.
We like
well,
trains.
we
BrickTrains
like
talking about trains. I can't believe
Well,
it.
okay. I'm gonna jump down the list a little bit. How's your big boy coming? Since
Okay.
Earl's not putting one together, I don't think.
So I got to the part where because they emailed me again. Are you done? I'm like, no. And so I sat down and was building it. All right, you know how you got it's a what is it, a 488? What's 4?
488
2 8s.
Mhm.
The 2 8s. And they've got it. The guy that designed it has it where that's actually going to be. You got a little power functions motor.
Mhm.
You got the gears, and both sets of the 8s will be drive wheels. You got 2 drive wheels, and you got the dummy wheels surrounding one of them, so it can go around curves of some radius. I don't know yet, but anyway, so it was so hard to get those Technic style pieces on there, and I finally got them where it wasn't falling apart, and I got to the part where I'm putting the wheels on. All right, so it's got those the gears that are like, I call them like the medium sized gears.
Okay.
I don't know how many teeth they got. Bricklink, they list them by the number of teeth. Do you remember when we were building the Great Ball contraption?
Yes.
It mattered which tooth. I mean, it had to be precise to the tooth, or that model would not work. That's the way this is.
Oh my.
And I did not realize it until I got that whole assembly together. And there's like 4 of those medium-sized gears. And I can tell that the one in the middle, I need to kind of turn it.
1 2.
Because to get the drive connecting rods,
yes,
they're not lining up right. And the only way to fix it is to take it completely apart again.
Have you built the DeLorean yet?
My son built the DeLorean.
So I found the DeLorean at Walmart for $170. So I bought it.
Oh, the new price is like $200, I think.
I know, and but at this Walmart, it was, I guess they hadn't went up on the new price yet.
I'm glad you found it for that.
So when it's got the little contraption on the bottom, to turn the wheels down, so it can be the hovering one from part 2, and it has some teeth like that. You build it, and then you get to the point, and it doesn't look right. And then when you get to the point where it snaps together, and it's the same thing, if you put it in there, and the gears don't line up right,
do they have like a little window with some arrows pointing to something, like, or a comparison list, and with a, they'll put
an
like a
instruction
green check
book?
or a red X or something.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
These instructions don't. I mean, there was nothing, and I got to the point, and I'm like, so I sent them an email back.
It makes me think of that piano you put together where everything had to line up.
Yeah, and so that was, and I understand like this type of build being a challenge. I'm not saying I expected it to be like building a Duplo set, right?
Right. But if you don't know that,
I didn't know that going in.
Right.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from building mine that I ran into the exact same problem, because my original design was going to be like you're talking about, with the M motors driving the drive sets, right? The sets of 8. And I learned quickly, especially when you did a 90 degree, right? A medium gear to a bevel gear, or whatever, to get that angle in there. Your drive rods were not going to line up, and you could be, like you said, 1 tooth off, and that's in a bind every time it goes around. But the ones I build now, and because I gave up on trying to put M motors inside them, and I just put all my power functions are powered up in the tender, and the locomotive is just freewheel. Sorry, everybody that thinks that's a sin, but that's the way I do it because it's easier. I don't even connect those drive rods together anymore, because if you quarter your drivers on the outside, the wheels will stay in sync really well. They figured that out when they were building steam engines a long time ago.
Yeah, and so I know that principle about the quartering,
right?
I can't, and I'm looking at this thing that's like I can't get it to do that,
right? Because you're off.
I know it's not. So the thing that's frustrating for me is like, and I've only built the one drivetrain. I got the other one to do. It's like I know it's not going to work. I know it's not going to work.
Mm,
And it's going to fall apart like Dunksters did.
right.
And
Right.
so this is what I sent because and I'm not okay. Let me just read it. It said, I said, I have had an emotional breakdown. The anxiety of trying to build this and it actually work has taken its toll on me. I'm mentally exhausted and frustrated with the poor design and poor quality and the missing parts, the hoses, the tire bands, the mismolded other pieces. So I can honestly say it was not worth this being free, and I'm not sure being paid would have been worth it either. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. The instructions are horrible. I don't think anybody that's posted a video has actually completely built it because I know Dunkster didn't.
Right.
I wasn't expecting the instructions to be so bad. I've built the drivetrain. I can already tell it's not going to work. And then I was going to write more, and I just hit send. I was tired of writing.
Well, I mean, that's what you would think if they send it to you as a test, they should appreciate honest feedback.
And I think what's happened is you got these ones that are just eating it up because they're getting millions of views on their videos. They don't care if it works or not. They just do a video and have it built however they've built it.
Right. All they needed to do is to move around a little bit. Whether or not it's functional or makes a good running model is a completely different thing.
Or an enjoyable build.
Or an enjoyable build, yes, that's true.
I mean, that's part. I mean, that's like when most Lego sets I build, even when they're complicated, I enjoy the build.
Yes, yes.
This, I mean, I'm looking at broken, and I'm like, I'm going to get to a certain point with these mismolded pieces and the actual literal missing pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to finish it. It's like it doesn't have the little rubber bands that go around the wheel. It shows you putting them on the wheel. They're not in the box. The hose that they show on top of the tender, it's not in the box.
Didn't Dunkster have the same problem when he didn't have the hoses?
Same problem. Yeah. And they could send me another one. Those parts still wouldn't be there.
Right.
So I thought about doing the video because I got the tender built.
Mm-hmm.
Have the tender and this little drivetrain sitting there. This is my big boy. Wet bricks.
Oh my goodness. So is there any other train that you would like to see done that you haven't seen done? Either one of you? I mean, I feel like I'm just talking to Jab all of a sudden.
Well, that's okay.
Well, I mean, you got to have a train that you would love to see.
Well, I want to get my Reading T1.
Oh,
that I bought 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And Kelv did post something a couple of months ago that they were getting close.
An update?
Yeah.
It's almost like these Lego Bricklink designer sets.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness to him, like the pandemic happened and there were other problems, but I would communicate quite frequently. If I had taken people's money, I would.
Right. I wonder how many he actually has. How many people?
I don't know how many he sold. I know it's more than 2. I mean, because people buy those the models that him and Glenn made for Brickmania or whatever it was.
Right.
Brickmania, one of them. The one that does the military stuff.
Well, that's Brickmania, right?
Yeah, they did some military training. Those things sold out right away.
Right. But I think they had all of that done before they went to
market. And so he's trying to do this right where it's got all the special bricks that are the sound and the controls and things that Lego doesn't make.
Right.
And the stickers, and he wants it to be a proper model. And I think it's just like one thing that he's waiting on, but yeah, it's just I hope it's an enjoyable, because some of their builds are kind of hard to build too.
They are, and they're not as sturdy.
Mm-mm.
And that's a thing, that, what is it? They call it the uncanny resemblance or whatever. I live in that Lego world. I'm okay with things not looking super realistic. Although I greatly appreciate the models, especially theirs, that they do look hyper realistic. Is almost
for Lego bricks, it's just amazing. That's why I like them.
Yeah, well, and exactly, yeah. There's people that have seen those and like, I didn't know that was even Lego.
Have
Yeah.
you built all your other kits yet, or do you still have some that you've got to build?
No, I got a bunch of them. I haven't built any of the passenger cars. I probably got 6 or 7 kits I haven't even built.
I think I have 4. I think I have 4 kits total, and I built the Challenger. That was it. And that was only because it came in Brick World. Dakota has forced me to put it on the layout. He wants to run
and that's one of those ones you gotta. If you run it on the layout, you gotta like, okay, where do those parts go?
and it's squishy.
Oh yeah,
If you pick it up, it's squishy.
Now, of course, since they're not actual Lego sets,
right?
I don't feel bad about modifying things.
Right.
And so the very first boxcar they made,
the white one.
Yeah. So Kale had a 1x2 jumper and a floating 1x1 plate. I mean tile. And I was like, it's not connected to anything. It's sitting on top of another. I'm dying. Another piece. And but now Lego makes the 1x3 two-studded jumper. It's perfect for that.
Yeah, if he hasn't updated, that's a perfect opportunity for him to update it. So Earl, if you don't have a favorite mock train that you want to see, what is your favorite Lego train then?
My favorite Lego train is the Maersk.
The Maersk. Yeah.
I like that locomotive style. I love the color scheme.
It is a great color scheme now, the blue and the gray and the white. It's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I got when I got the display from that I forgot the name of the company. That's not good. I display it.
Oh, yeah.
Maersk Train, Horizon Express. I was like, yes, those are the ones I want to display.
I don't have a Horizon Express. I need to look into.
You don't own one?
I do not own a Horizon Express.
How did that happen? I don't have one either, but I don't know. I don't know. I probably skipped it the same reason you skipped it. I just never thought I was going to get it, never got around to get it, and that thing retired. That one retired pretty fast, didn't it?
Right, yeah.
I think that one in the Emerald Knight, they didn't. Both of those.
Yeah, Emerald Knight was very fast.
Yeah, and I have an Emerald Knight, so I'm not
the reason
sure how
I didn't buy the Horizon Express when it first came out was because I was confused by the 2 passengers cars with that carriage wheel base setup thing.
Oh yeah. The what do they call it?
And I was like, what is going on with this thing? So I kind of put
that's
it off.
They are.
Yeah. But I just put it off because it didn't look right, and I just then all of a sudden I missed out on it.
Yeah. So I got the TGV, which is basically what that's based off of. I got a HO scale set at the JCPenney at Belmont Hills in, I don't know, it was the late 80s, I guess. And that's when I got hooked on the that type of train. It's not typical at all to anything we're used to. That
not to the United States.
You see a similar thing on the intermodal trains, like the what's that one called? The set that Lego made in the 9-volt era, the intermodal.
It is an intermodal. What is it?
But it's the same principle.
Right. Yeah. You basically have one set of wheels between the cars.
What do they call those bogies?
I keep wanting to say
that'd be the word. That'd be the word of the day.
The train people are going to kill me.
Let's see if we can figure it out before the episode's over.
Hey, well, let me get if I can find a window here, I can type something in.
Is it a Jacob's bogie?
That sounds good. I like it if it's not it. I bet it's different between passengers, cars, and freight cars.
It says Jacob's bogies. It's funny. It's named after a guy with it's Jacob with a K. Jacob's bogies are a type of rail vehicle bogie commonly found on articulated rail cars and tramway vehicles. Instead of being underneath the piece of rolling stock, it's placed between 2 carriages. Where's Jacob's bogies?
That's interesting. I guess he was just the guy. He must be the guy who created it.
Wilhelm Jacobs. Yeah. Is everybody from Germany named Wilhelm? Where's he from?
So, are you wanting to talk about the Black Panther bust, or are we all tired of that today? Because it came out today.
Well, I just want your opinion.
Chabo is.
I like the bust. I really do like the bust. But the hands, what is up with the hands?
Wakanda forever, or as Brick Revolution said, broke forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take the hands away from the bust, you could have made it $250 and saved all those pieces.
So, okay, is the other busts? They were not that expensive, were they?
No, they're not that big either.
So when
that's the thing. It's much bigger then.
So when I saw the 14 post in my Instagram feed this morning,
right,
I saw the metallic silver parts or whatever that is flat silver probably
for the necklace thing.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, looks like some 1x3 tiles maybe. And so it's like I can use those to make headlight bricks.
And let me spend $350.
I'm thinking that, and I'm just looking at it, and I'm thinking, okay, this is probably it's obviously bigger than the other bus. So I'm thinking it's over $100 set. And then when I saw the price tag, I'm like,
yeah.
What? And it's almost 3,000 pieces. The retail's $350. So I guess with new Lego prices, I saw a post on Instagram, and it said the post was Lego's pricing makes no sense, and it was a guy with a Lego set, and he had a wheel with retails on it. He was just spinning the wheels wherever the wheel landed. That's retail.
Yeah.
So yeah, there it is. I think why his hands look funny is because his shoulders are not complete. I think if he had,
but I mean, it's like
right, he's covering it. You know, if the hands weren't there, it'd look funny because he'd have the hollow bust.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the points of the hands, because it would be a bust. It's a bust. If you take the hands away, it's a shoulder bust, like it's supposed to be.
Right.
So, who was it? Tiago, in his post, he was like, "Just got this bad boy in the mail," and I'm like, "Yep, that's exactly what I think. Bad."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks cool, but oh my gosh, $300, $350 for us.
I can assure you, I am not. This is not.
That'll be the first bust I don't buy. I'm going to continue to buy the $50 and $60 model.
I really appreciate Lego. Thank you, Lego Boardroom. I got to start making use of my green screen and suits. I want to do the Lego Boardroom, but thank you for breaking me of buying Lego bus.
So since you're talking about Lego Boardroom, let's talk about the lunchbox. Is there any way that Robin Hull and you guys influenced the lunchbox?
I wonder. I
want to say Robin more so,
right?
Because he is. I think he's known over there.
Oh, he has tons of followers, like on Instagram and everything. Yeah, so he's a big deal.
And he puts tags in his posts.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
where is the thermos?
Yeah, so I just can't. I mean, I never even was aware of this.
Yeah, if it wasn't for him.
Yeah. And so, but yeah, this. Oh, you got stuff in it already. I could not.
Is that minifigs?
There's no room for.
That looks like CMFs, Joey.
So
it looks more like a pencil box than a.
Yeah,
I mean, the size of a pencil box.
Yeah. My Marvel Comics lunchbox was much bigger than this.
I wish I thought of that. I would have grabbed another Lego lunchbox and actually seen how much.
Mine was a He-Man.
I mean, because of this, and you mean it's definitely. Oh, did you show your set?
No. Okay. So hopefully my video will come out. Hey, look, there it is.
Well, I should get the car.
So yeah, you probably have the car. I don't know that I have the car, but now this is set 150, which is what is pictured on the front, or set 50.
Set 50? Zero? Is it 050?
050, yes, sir. 050.
Oh.
But read your lunchbox. What's that say there in the little white box?
It's 55.
There is no 55 was not one of these sets.
There's 11.
So now
did he say 11?
Oh, we missed. They lied to us in 20.
They made a mistake.
So that set is pictured on the lunchbox. Jabbo, you better get it now before the price goes up.
Oh, here, this set right here. I probably got 40 copies of it in the basement.
Oh yeah,
I just need the box.
You just need the box.
You just need the box.
Okay, so here you go.
What's the
Here is-
inventory of that set?
Hang on, I gotta share the video again.
There's a bunch of 2x4 white and red bricks and a
It's-
couple of baseball. Oh, that's set 55. No, there is a 55.
There is, yeah. Hang on. I gotta click on the right screen. Here is set 55.
So it's just that is not the box picture.
No, yes, you're right, but I don't think it's this picture.
It is
either.
that set.
You think it is?
Yeah, it's got the same builds on it.
It's got the same tower.
It's got the tower.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Are there airplanes? All right, so
Yeah,
What I can guarantee you is
so
that
yours
says
is 50. You're saying yours is 50?
right there.
Let's see.
Yeah, I think that might be that set. I think that's not a box. That's not.
I don't think that's the
Oh, but
box.
there's the back of it.
See, there's that house is pretty close in the top corner.
Right.
50.
The other top corner, Joey. Yeah. Above the.
Is
the
that
Dutch-
airplane on that box anywhere?
I can't find the set on Bricklink. Oh, wait a minute. No.
No. Neither is the car.
Why
There's a
can't
lot
I?
of ducks.
And then the 55 is not right either.
I didn't look on BrickTsar. What?
It's probably not on Bricklink.
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Bricklink. So 055 is not on Bricklink.
I couldn't find it. It's the 55 I saw was modern. Wait a minute, what's that?
There it is.
Oh, that's good. But that's not so. That is a different box, obviously.
Yes.
So then you're 50.
Yes. It's also 1968. And I think that's what BrickTsar says. So that set 55 didn't come out for 3 years after that TV ad or Century 21 TV thing came
So
out.
what is this 55/- Lego set?
I don't know.
Why does it say that? I mean, it does on the box. It literally says. Wait a minute, do it this way.
Hang
The
on.
Moon Rocket is one of the hundreds of models you can make with the 55/- Lego set.
Joey, what is the?
What does that mean, /-?
I
Do
don't
you
know.
still have a picture of the image that you got from Robin Hall that you made into a post?
Robin said that this is cropped.
Yeah, something's it's
From what was on the original ad. You got it
So what
behind you.
What
I
is
do. I
that?
have it behind me, but it's huge.
So what got
So is
cut
that-
off?
Is that picture the same? I mean, the
Yes.
picture of the set. That's the exact same picture.
Yeah, to Lego's defense, the mistake was made back in 1965.
They should have fixed it.
Yeah, is this the same issue you have, or is it a different one?
I'd have to. I don't remember.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't
Then
remember.
I got this one, which got the
Yeah, I got one with Daleks. I got one that doesn't have the ad, and I think
Oh.
one or two that do have the ad.
Yeah, and then of course there's the poster that you were wanting. So
Yeah, I think that's probably a mistake on the ad. I think you're right. I think based on the picture more matches your 50, and 55 is a modern set, which may be if there was an inventory of that set, it would probably.
well, there's an inventory of 50, but it's just red and it's just blocks. Now, see, 50 came out in 64, so it came out a year before
that's
this.
it. Oh, it was inventoried by John Patterson.
Yeah.
He was us before we were us.
Mhm.
If you look on Piron, he inventoried most all of the vintage sets,
And
they were from used sets. Most
Right,
of them.
yeah,
So their
open-
inventories aren't necessarily
Yeah.
accurate.
yeah. So interesting. Anyway, I like it. I like the fact that they did it. It's cool. I still want to think that Robin Hall started all that in motion.
No, I absolutely think it. I think it did. I think they probably was like, hey, this guy posted this old picture. This would be great for our 90th anniversary. Let's do that. And I
And the
I
fact that
100% believe it.
yeah, and the fact that they got you to spend some of your VIP points is just a bonus for them.
Yeah. And now I won't be able to get the castle.
Oh, speaking of the castle, there's the castle, right?
Prior to
So you were able to
leaving,
get two of them?
Well, I
Taking
didn't
along?
try. I didn't try, but yeah.
Oh, look,
Well,
a sealed one.
Oh yes, the proverbial sealed one.
Prior to me leaving, I still haven't received one yet.
Oh,
no,
if you need
really?
one, let me know. I'll get you.
I was
one.
surprised how quickly
This
it
one.
came.
Yeah, so I'm hoping my father-in-law's checking my mail. I'm hoping when I get home it's in my mail. But
So I didn't get any kind of notification. It just showed up one day.
no, the only thing I got was the same email you got about it's been accepted, but still have
Yeah,
yet to receive it.
I got in the email war. That's it.
Well, I did the receipt. Of course, I did it online, and so then you're stuck trying to figure out how to get the image of the receipt to them online. At any rate, I took a picture, sent it, uploaded it, whatever, with my street address, and then I never got anything back from that. And then you guys started saying, "Hey, I got an email saying they accepted it." I was like, so I did it again, and I put the P.O. box in, just thinking, okay, I'm just going to separate. I actually also printed it out. This is how weird out I got about it. I printed out the page from Walmart for the receipt, scanned it, and then sent that to them. And then I got a confirmation saying, hey, we got your receipt, good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got 2 emails from them saying, well, I got an email that I just immediately thought was just spam and deleted it, but it came in and said something about your address needs to be, or you need to be an address. You can't have a P.O. box. And I didn't read it. The second time I got that email, like 3 or 4 days later, I was like, is that for that castle? And again, I don't know. It was one of those times I just didn't have time to mess with it, and it fell off or whatever. We talked about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I never went back. And then a week after everybody else started getting theirs, I get the one at the post office. And then a week later, I get one at home.
So they sent it to the P.O. box anyway.
Yep.
Huh.
And then the one that they didn't ever say they were going to send it to me, they sent to my house.
And did you do all that from one receipt?
I did, but I didn't intend to do 2.
Yes.
I didn't intend to do 2. It was not when they said I didn't get, and never said they had confirmed my first one. I thought, okay, I better do it again. And I wasn't going to buy another, whatever it was, $50 or $80 worth of stuff. So, but yeah, if you don't get one, Earl, let me know.
Okay. Well, I'm still, I got the email saying that it was good, but everybody's getting theirs, and I still haven't got it. So
yeah,
I'm just wondering if I bought a set that was a set on the list, but the set was on clearance, but the clearance price was still over the threshold. So I'm like, oh man.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
I don't even remember what I bought. I think I just bought stuff to part out.
I bought the 90 years of Lego, which I want to part out.
So let's talk about the shorts videos.
Oh, you mean Mr. Jabo's on his new channel, his old new channel?
Yeah.
My old channel, that the unintended consequences channel.
So
no, go ahead.
So my thing is, all YouTube shorts is the same thing as Instagram Reels is, which is actually just TikToks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok
exactly
was blowing up, so Instagram had to do something, so YouTube had to do something.
Yeah. So the reason I made the video, if you watch the video, is in the video, but I'll tell you.
Watch the video.
So for those that don't want to go over there, that's fine. I have YouTubers outside of the Lego space that I watch every video they've made.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 of them, within the span of a few days, made a community post like, hey, we're going to be posting shorts.
Mm-hmm. And
the way they worded it, they were like, they knew they would get maybe some backlash from the audience, or just say, hey, we need to. But it was like, it almost made me think that all of these different creators, their YouTube support partner. Because a lot of times, I've had that in the past when I cared about YouTube. It's like somebody that would kind of give you tips and stuff that worked for Google.
So they let you know that they were making shorts before they made the shorts?
Well, one had already made one short, and then he talked about it in one of his alternate channel videos where he's got a kind of, he's got his regular channel, and then he's got one where he'll just get on there and talk like this. And he was like, I made the short, and he was talking about how like this is the way YouTube's going. I'm like, no,
right.
no.
See,
that's what makes me so mad. It's like,
I don't mind the short, but just do it and move on.
Do it if you want to do it.
If you want to do it, move on.
Do it, because people, yes, they can make good shorts.
And
but if you're doing it because I gotta do it,
right?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. Don't do it because Google or YouTube, whoever tells you to do it. So the thing that I take away from YouTube when I was looking at, hey, we're going to do shorts. You got long form content like what we're doing right here, right now, is typically going to be, or your better content is going to be evergreen, right? You're going to be able to come back and watch it.
Shorts aren't going to be evergreen.
No, and that is exactly what they're saying. It's a one-hit wonder right now. Hit it while it's hot, and then move on. And that's that. So if you're not out there doing the whatever the newest dance or the newest quick change or the newest joke or whatever the thing is with everybody else, and everybody laughs at it, and you're not going to get any traction off of it. So I don't know why these guys that do long form content
want it, because the two types of content are generally not compatible. Like I have a video of a short that I did on Trains Are Fun that I don't know how many, I got like tons of subscribers from that video.
Okay.
And I just don't think that those subscribers are the same as the subscribers from the other videos. And so it's like somebody comes to you for a short, they're probably not going to watch the other videos, even if they're shorter long form videos, like 4 or 5 minute videos. And I just.
So have you watched Practical Engineering? Do you subscribe to him? Do either one of you? I can't think of his name. Grady, I think. But he does civil engineering stuff. So a dam breaks or a bridge collapses. He kind of goes in and explains that. He did some shorts, but he did not do typical shorts. He actually tried to take his long form content, and he's got a book and everything. And it's what is it called? Infrastructure in Plain Sight or something. It's weird things that you see and you're always like, what is that for? Why is it just sticking out of the ground? Well, he explains that in his books and some of his long form content, but he does that in his shorts. He's like, puts up the picture, and then he says, what is this? And then he'll talk for maybe another 30 seconds about it. And he'll say, put it in the comments. I thought it was clever. He's trying to utilize the shorts against YouTube. He ain't helping himself. He ain't helping his long form content because the wrong people are seeing the shorts, and he's not converting those over to his long term.
That's right. They're the shorts people aren't really going to watch it. And so I think one of the channels I followed that he didn't say it, but he just made the shorts. It was Vsauce 2. I watch his videos. It's Kevin. But he made, since I like math and science, he made these little math shorts where he shows in a minute, shows you this problem and how it's neat or whatever. It fits with the type of content that he already does that's longer.
Right.
It's just, and it's not, the type of shorts I don't like is when somebody does a synopsis of their longer video.
Yeah,
I just thought, what's the point?
Point? Destin still hasn't done any shorts that I'm aware of. He's sticking to his
smarter
game
every day because he's smart.
That
boy from Alabama is pretty smart. and again, I should say this because there are a lot of people that I follow and that I've actually watched their shorts. One of them is in this room, actually in this panel here. But there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing wrong in principle with shorts, although I feel that the vast majority of them are bad. And it's just like TikTok. You can start off watching a dad joke video from BrickTrains, and the next thing you know, it's like somebody wanting to show their body parts.
Yes. Yes,
or
it
sell
doesn't.
you something.
It does. Yeah, usually it's
Which
sell you something, and usually the person showing their body parts is trying to sell their body parts. So. No, TikTok goes down a bad hole quickly.
Quickly.
So okay, let's take us back to Lego because I'm sure some people are like, I'm tired of YouTube.
But for those of you that make shorts or reels, I'm not, or TikToks even. I'm not saying you're a bad person or you shouldn't.
Oh,
just
no,
don't. No. I'm just saying don't do it because you want to do it.
Yes, and they're different. They're two different things, and I don't think YouTube's going the way of shorts. I don't think so. I just
and ironically, TikTok is trying to make longer form content.
That is funny. Yeah, you could now. Yes, they're crossing each other, right? So the new CMFs are out. Anybody going to get them?
Okay, so I went to the Lego store, and if you spent $50, you got the Pirate Pack.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
Remember, they still had that promotion. They still had them, and I got 3 Pick-a-Brick cups that didn't add up to $50. And I was like, dang it. I want to get, it's like, he's like, I said, can you fill the pack for me? He's like, we can't do that anymore. And I'm like, there's only one. I just want the castle guy and maybe the dragon guy. That's all I want. I don't want any of the other ones.
Right.
And he's like, we can't do that. You can do it. And I was like, it's not worth it. So I bought, instead of that, I think I bought $100 set.
I needed 50 cents to get over the thing, so I bought $100 set. Well, I've got.
Did you just grab a bunch of them?
No, I did. I bought the Max at Lego.com. So,
you don't know what you bought.
I don't know what I bought. No. But that's the way I play this game, right? That's just me. I bought all of these, whatever I have, unless I get 16 of the same ones, whatever I'm missing, I'm just going to Bricklink them.
Yeah. Well, the guy at the store actually told me, why don't you see if they have the 6-packs?
That's kind of what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, because
I think they have.
I don't mind
online.
Yeah, they do. I just haven't looked for them yet. I don't want to. I don't feel like standing at Walmart and feeling packs, but I don't want to buy 3 in Walmart and come home with 2 different ones in a double. So,
what are we going to do when they put them in boxes?
Well, I was getting ready to say,
are we just going to keep getting paper saying they're eventually going to make stuff on paper?
Well, I wonder if it's going to be the paper like the
base plates. So that's the one thing I did see at the store. I saw the paper base plate packaging that you were talking about.
Okay. I was going to try.
Yeah. So I went to I did some scouting for Joey. I went to the Indianapolis Lego store, which is 3 hours from his house. I had no idea it was that far. And the Daily Bugle is in stock, so I sent him a picture. So him and Heather's got to plan a road trip now.
Get it before it's gone.
Get it before it's gone. Get it before I regret it.
So. Yeah.
I mean, if I was going to pay $300, wait a minute, how much is that?
It's less than 300, I think.
But the bus that we're talking about,
bus is
it was $350.
Yeah.
No minifigures. Daily Bugle $300. It makes no sense.
Right. Yeah. The pricing has gotten a little. Sorry, I'm distracted by my phone. Yeah, the pricing on Lego has gotten a little crazy. Seems like here lately. It's.
Well, I've talked about that for years. How the pricing doesn't line up. It's like, okay, this 600-piece set is $59.99. Okay, this 600-piece set is $69.99. Okay, I kind of can see that. It might be a little pricier than the other one, but maybe it's Marvel, maybe it's Star Wars. And then this 400-piece city set is $99.99. And this 1,000-piece set is $99.99. It's like, what?
So when one year at Brick World, I went to, and I probably told this story before, probably told it on this podcast. Me and Heather went, and a lot of times they have speakers or whatever, and you can go and you can listen to the speaker. And we went, and there was a designer, and she was a young girl or whatever, and she was designing friend sets. And she kind of talked about how it worked, and they were they work off of some sort of point system. She had a name for it. They didn't say points. But it was basically a point system. But colors that were not in that piece already would cost them more points. Stickers cost a point. Printing cost them points. If they wanted a new element design, that was a lot of points. It took a lot of work to get that in. Usually cost you needed multiple models and stuff like. But I guess my point is I wonder if some of these sets, because let's say they wanted wedge pieces or some kind of piece in dark red that's never been in dark red before, that runs that price up.
But see, that doesn't hold water, because look at the Daily Bugle. We decided to use the train rail in gray.
Right.
So why isn't that set extra $10 or $15 because of that one piece that they had to make? They got the mold, but they had to do a different color.
It was is that the only one that the light gray piece comes in like that? I think it is, isn't it?
If it wasn't, it definitely was the first.
Yeah.
That's why it's like it makes sense as a designer, but it doesn't make sense when Lego.
Well, a lot of the sets that like your 400 piece $90 set is usually got bigger,
right? A big animal
that might not appear in other sets, even in a different color.
Right.
Speaking of big pieces, and it was also in that bust that we looked at earlier, the 16 by 16 Technic brick that's in the mosaics. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I do not know what's happened. I've had multiple orders where that's all that people have bought.
Really?
After sitting in my store, I did lower the price a little bit, but it's like all of a sudden, it's like a wave. I don't know if this happens to y'all with Bricklink, but you'll get a wave of orders where everybody's ordering the same thing all of a sudden. I'm like, what just happened?
It's happened to me once with that hairpiece.
Yeah.
But maybe because my store's not big enough to.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I've not had that where. Yeah, I typically get where I know they're trying to Bricklink.
So what you're saying is, one person didn't buy them all, but a few orders.
Yeah, I've had three. I've had 3 orders. Well, actually, the one today, he actually had like 12 green bricks in his order, but the other orders, that's all they ordered.
Huh.
And 40 of them will fit in a large priority mailbox.
Somebody there must be something that people are building that they've come up with. It's an alternative.
I bet you that's what it is. It's probably a mosaic. It's probably people building mosaics, but there's probably something out there.
Something
or an app that's new that I haven't seen or something.
An app.
Yeah, I'm just kind of looking over my.
Or maybe somebody's using them for Mills plates builds or something.
Ooh, see, now I did it. I built the train station when those came out. I built a train bridge using those as an experiment, and of course, kind of as I thought, they're not worth a hoot when it comes to stability for trains. But I still ended up using them, and I just put a wooden board on it. I'm not worried about it.
You brought up Mills plates, and I see a lot of people Mills plates. If you are converting your city to Mills plates because you want to travel and bring it to somewhere, and you want to be able to interlock it with somebody else's bits and pieces, I get it. But if you have a layout like Joey's, and you never plan on tearing it apart and bringing it somewhere and showing it somewhere, what is the benefit of a Mills plate? Why?
If you want to change things up, I think that would be the one reason, even if you're just doing it for your own personal enjoyment, but you want to take things in and out. But I guess you could do that without the Mills plates too, I guess what you're saying.
Yeah. The only thing the advantage that I see using Mills plates in that scenario where you're not going into a group is being able to do rivers, streams, creeks, things like that.
Okay.
which I have done because that gives you a little bit of
Depth or
depth, under the streets or whatever. Now, because I originally started doing Mills plates because one, I wanted to be compatible with the L gauge, and I had dreams or whatever of building a module and taking it to Brick World or wherever. And as much as they have really kind of made that work, it just feels to me like me walking in and saying, hey, here's my module, I want to connect to it, it would still be tricky.
So you're talking about if you brought your what's your building that you're working on, the
big
bus
train
station?
Yes, the bus station's one. Yeah.
So if you had the bus station on Mills plate, you would just bring it in somebody's existing layout. You would just, you'd like to add it to it.
Yeah. So the base size is a 3x3 grid of 32 by 32 base plates. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
you would have to have enough to fill that.
Yes, that's your base
grid.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a lot. That's a big area. That's a big footprint. And the guy I remember back at Brick World when they were pretty young at doing this, and I'd even questioned the guy, and I think he had answered this question so many times he was getting tired of it. It's like, how many pieces? How long did that take you? And I said, why did you put the 3 in the front? And he was like, if I build $1,000 engine, I don't want it falling off the layout. Oh, well, build a better engine that doesn't fall off the layout. But that's just me snarky. But
yeah,
I get it. I understand why they're wanting to do it. They want that buffer at the front where the people are, because they're doing this for show purposes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would not, if I had not already done my layout, I would not start with Mills. Not like that. It's expensive. It's a huge added expense. But yeah, me and Heather had a portable layout, and that's exactly like taking things in and out. We had 3 different scenes. We had city, winter, and we had theme park.
It wasn't on Mills plates, though, was it?
Some of it was. The original was not, but when we got to the winter one was, and all the rest of them had plans to be put on Mills plates. Then the pandemic hit, and it's like, oh well, we're just not doing that no more. Partly because the show shut down. So, anybody going to Brick World 2023? Are we going to go? I know we kind of mentioned it at one time. Maybe
they've canceled my show, so
yeah.
If I go somewhere, we got to.
I would have to look into it. Talk to my wife. When is it?
That is an excellent question. It's always around Father's Day.
It would be an excuse to come visit my daughter, see the grandbaby.
Right. And they have a new thing this year where they're doing a Saturday, Sunday only registered thing. Used to you do the public, come in as public, but you couldn't really do the things. But now they're doing the Brick World Chicago is June 17th through the 18th. So that's the Saturday and Sunday. And it starts that Wednesday before. But if you were to go see your family and like on that Wednesday, Thursday, and then you came up for, Saturday, Sunday or whatever, you could get that cheaper registration. But then you could do like World of Lights and some of the other things.
Oh, you could do the after public hour stuff as well.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
And that's what the public tickets don't get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, me and Heather enjoy going the whole time.
Yeah, I would go even if I didn't take anything. I would want to go for the whole days.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything if I go. Well, I did that the first year, and
I have found that I enjoy shows so much more if I don't bring any of my lame mocks.
Well, there's some things I like bringing things, but yeah, Brick World is okay. I've not been to like Brick Fair, Virginia, or some of these other giant shows. So I'm not sure how they're laid out, but Brick Fair or Brick World it's a monster, and there's so many things there that are so cool. I said this before. I've told Kevin Hinkle when we were there, it's like I brought stuff, and it's like you don't even get a sniff at it because it's just not good. My stuff it's just not good enough. These people that do things is just crazy how well they build stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, to compete, I'm not going to do that. So
I sent you the picture of that employee gift.
That was amazing.
Have
Yes.
you? How many employee gifts you think are out
Oh,
there?
there's so many of them like that are
Really?
like almost like third party things that. I mean, the chess set was essentially something like that. It's just sometimes there's games, sometimes there's uh, other accessories. We just don't ever see all of them, and I don't know if they make as many of those now, or if there's different levels of employees that get certain things, or if they do them for special events.
Right. You're
But
talking about the radio cooler thing, right?
yeah,
Is that,
Yeah.
because I was getting ready to share it, and I thought, oh, I better make sure.
yeah.
That's
Go ahead and show that. Yeah.
Well, I found so I come home and playing around. I see one on eBay and it's $29.99. I'm thinking, oh, what a deal!
2014.
Then it was $120 shipping. Like, huh? What?
Yeah, for $30, I'd have been all over that too, but not the shipping. Well, speaking of employee gifts, guess what I pulled the trigger on? The game.
Oh, really? Did you
Yeah.
find a cheaper one than the one?
No, I bought the one out of England. So
Oh, England.
Well, there was one in Hungary, but there was one in England.
How much was the one in England?
£90.
Oh, ooh.
So 100 and some. Yes. I don't know. It may be a mistake.
You know, they must have just come out, and I don't know how widely distributed it's going to be.
I haven't seen anybody in the United States.
But see, the employees aren't supposed to sell them.
I know.
So sometimes when these things, when you first start seeing them, it's the ones that have like, okay, here, friend, go sell this for me, or whatever. I'm hoping there'll be more of them, and the price will come down.
So that's a gift for this year.
Yes, it was part of the 90-year. No, yeah, it was part of the 90-year.
Usually, it's early in the year.
For Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, and it would be it would be cool if it's like a European only gift, and it's something else is going to be given to the American employees. But I don't know. You're right. Here in another month, you may be able to pick them up for $50, and I'll be sad, or $20, and I'll be really, really sad. But we'll see. I thought if nothing else, it would be cool for the trivia, because it's supposed to be. I think there's a board game component to it, but I think a lot of it is based around trivia of the companies. So
that would be good.
Yeah, might be a good segment on here too. Maybe something. Something. I don't know. I keep wanting to try to do some kind of game, and I never can come up with.
Me too.
It just.
I end up talking.
No, it's all right. I mean,
well, that's for our shorts, remember?
Yes, you do those no more.
Sorry, no, I ruin everything.
You want to do the
yeah, let me find them. Gotta find them on my phone because.
Hey, Joey, I got an idea for you while he's looking that up.
Okay.
I need a idea for. I've been working on this list of Lego parts that were in regularly released sets that you cannot buy even if you have unlimited funds.
Parts that were in
or virtually set. So like it had to be a set that would have been on store shelves somewhere, not a employee gift, not a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, although maybe something like that should count. I don't know, but just regular, like, and the one example that I always think of first is my remote control motor from set 311 and set 312. Like if you wanted to go buy one now, you could, unless you just found somebody. Oh, that person's got them. Hey, I got some money. Will you sell that to me? It's not going to be like if somebody wants Mr. Gold,
right?
They can go and buy one. They're just going to spend a lot of money. Somebody wants Cloud City Boba Fett,
right?
They can go buy one,
right?
But I was like, what's a part that was in a regularly issued set that if you wanted that part,
right? How?
Because the set's not for sale and the part's not for sale.
Interesting. Okay.
I made a list. I'm trying to get. I want at least 10. I got about.
Is there any kind of way to look on Bricklink for parts that were only in one set?
Ooh, interesting.
I was, and that's like, it's like, can you sort by what's the most expensive thing? And the thing with Bricklink, and I've seen people do videos talking about this is never sold on Bricklink, and I'm like, yes, it has. I've sold it on Bricklink. I'm like,
this is currently not for sale.
Well, when you look at the history, it only goes back a year.
Right.
And so once that year's passed,
right,
then you look all-time sales, it's not there.
Right. Right. Okay, so that is this like homework for me?
Yeah, homework, and not for this episode, but just if you can find one or two. I found about 10, but most of them are base plates or big bricks or base plates.
Well, I just looked up one that I thought I was going to get, and I thought I had you on, but it turns out
somebody has one for sale.
40 of them, so I missed that.
Yeah.
The head to the Nestle Quick Bunny.
Yeah. So yeah, that's still. I mean, it's going up. It's getting expensive now, but you can still buy one.
You can still buy one, so that doesn't count. Okay. All right.
You can't find for sale on eBay or Bricklink or other sites.
Interesting. So maybe, I mean, if it was an official Lego piece like the A.F.o.O.L,
yeah, the one of one. A.F.o.O.L, it's mostly on camera.
Yeah, well, whatever. There you go, focus. All right, Earl, you got them comments.
Go ahead, Earl.
All right, Keel Jones, when are they going to invent some non-shrinking shrink wrap for Joey?
Yeah.
Beats, Breaks, and Bricks.
I have a hard time saying.
Formerly T. Haynes had changed my YouTube channel to reflect my store name.
Okay. Oh, I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah. I was recently visiting the old country to see my family, and my mother had rescued a friend of hers' kids' vintage collection a few years ago. Managed to score the Yellow Castle, a space cruiser, and a few other things, including pieces from 3 tipper trucks and a set of worn instructions. Looking forward to your order, Jabo.
I guess what was the scores? It beats bricks.
It's beats, breaks, and beats, breaks, and bricks.
Yeah.
3 tipper trucks. Uh-oh. In talk, great to be well and have a new one from you guys. We're glad you're well too, Kim. Dude Jude, hey Earl, Joey, and Jabo. So it was Joey buying things this time. Cool parts packs, but no red 2x4 red bricks. Keep up the good work. Sin Killer Tachikawa. I swear me and Jabo share a brain cell. Some days he is recording his tipper in various places while I'm working on a similar photo account, except with a non-Lego subject.
Oh.
On that note, we will see if my reply makes it in before the recording this week. Just catching up after a cruise to Cozumel.
Yeah. So, I think I said it in my video, but we went and saw the Tron movie, the original Tron, in the theater, and David Pagano was there, and there was only like 15 people, 30 people in the theater. I don't know. I was sitting near the front, but it's like we all had to wear masks.
Right.
So I didn't I wouldn't have recognized him with a mask on. He probably wouldn't have recognized me either with a mask on. Even though we know who each other are, we've just never met in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed. I posted on Instagram, or my son posted a picture on Instagram, and I'm scrolling through my feed, and I see another post. I'm like, that's not my son's picture. It's the only way you could have posted that picture is if you were there. And then I saw it was David Pagano because I followed him, and I was like, "Oh man!"
How many showings did that have?
One.
Just the one?
Yeah.
I thought it was like going to be like.
Oh, they did it multiple days, but he was there the same day I was. Yes,
that's what I meant.
They just had one per day. Yeah.
Okay. Xavier G, respect for Dad Bod for being in that Zoom to the end.
Oil and Dad Bod both are here tonight. Anyway, keep on going.
Dad bod should be the secret word for the next episode.
Oh.
Well, there you go. There's a trivia question. If you know who one of our 2 viewers are, who's been here since the beginning of the live studio audience, put his name in the comments. I enjoyed hearing those Bricklink errors with missing or lost pieces. I don't own a Bricklink store, but have the same thing. Missing pieces or minifigures. Can't find them for days till my wife cleans up the bed for my kid where the minifigure has apparently been sleeping for 4 days. Thanks for the laugh, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, we got a laughing, crying emoji from Dad Bod.
I had a Bricklink error the other day. This guy they made an order for me, and it was like 40 lots, and probably 20 of the 40 lots were one piece, but the first item was 15, and I sent him one.
Oh,
no!
Because they had so many ones in there. He sent it to me, and I said, "Oh, I went and checked the drawer, and sure enough, I said I'll get it.
I've done that.
Apologize. I'll get it right out to you."
So I had a Chima fan bought a Chima figure from me, and he said it's the wrong armor because they have this piece that goes over their shoulder, and I was like, "Let me check." And that's another thing I did late last night. I got up, I literally got out of bed and went down to the basement, and because it clicked with me, okay, if I've made a mistake on this, I know what the mistake is because there's 3 figures in that set, and they all have armor. I thought the armor was the same. There are 3 pearl gold pieces of armor. They're all different.
No.
And I had to get my magnifying glass to see the number. I could not even see the number on it. And he was exactly right. And it's like, yep, it was the figure. Unfortunately, nobody had bought the other 2 figures yet. And I was like, there's the piece. He's exactly
What? They
right.
hadn't bought the Chima from you?
No. It's people have been buying Chima. I am shocked. It is selling.
There are Chima fans out there.
Eventually, you would think the Chima, it's going to be a lost theme.
It's going to be Fabuland one day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Fabuland, did you see that post I sent to you for it's on BrickSet, the random set of the day or weird set of the day? Did they get that from you, Jabo? Look on the homepage of BrickSet.
Today?
I think it was today, yeah. I sent it to you on Instagram. I DM'd you.
I might not have seen it.
Did you just DM it?
Before we started, I did.
I might not have seen it because I was recording a video. The random set of the day on now is the Island.
Yeah, but scroll down a little bit. There's like another one.
There's the bust. Great. Thank you for making me see the bust again.
It says the random set of the day.
I don't see it.
Yeah, it's dated today. Reported by the pictures. Look in your DMs.
So look at my DMs.
Yeah.
Reported by somebody, but it's today, September 7th at.
Oh, you you're talking about the Scala set.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you threw me because it's like
okay.
We were talking about Fabuland.
Well, yeah, I know.
But I see the Scala clothing.
Yeah, I thought it was your weird set of the day.
No, it's not. It was not. I don't own that one, but yes, I would. It is the type of thing I would own.
Is that an actual Lego
Dad Bod,
set?
who's in the? If you're a big Scala fan, when Dad Bod opens his Bears Brick store, he's got Scala stuff in it.
Ooh.
Speaking of Dad Bod says it was fun to join in, but watching without the ability to chat at all made me feel like a creepy voyeur.
Oh, yeah. If I could figure out a way to do that where you could chat, I thought did I enable it on this thing? He's able to do the.
We're gonna have to offline, me and you, or all 3 of us, if we can. We're gonna have to figure. You should be able to. You should be able to control this podcast because you have the admin credentials, and you should be able to. Because all you really need to be able to do is hit record. And I think you have to take over. I think even if I create it, I think you have to start it. I don't know. We'll have to play with
link it to my YouTube.
Yes. Well, that is if you want to go.
But then
live,
once you do that, I don't know.
Yeah, but you don't have to go live. What you could do is if we send it to just your Czar people, which is going to be what 10 or 20 people, you could just send them the link to the StreamYard, and they'll just show up at the bottom. And as long as well, actually, that would work.
Well, that's what we could have been doing all along.
Yeah, just send them the link to the StreamYard, and then
they'll be in our chat.
They could be in chat,
okay.
And
they could watch it.
Mm-hmm. They'd still just be watching and interact with the chat.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to go, and I don't know how to make it, I don't know how that would work. We'd have to play with it. to make it a private or members only video on your channel. When you hit the little plus button to create a StreamYard stream, if you're logged in on your, I figured this part out. If you're logged in on your computer and you hit it because you're an admin on this account, it will go to your account and I can't get to your account.
Yeah.
Just like you shouldn't be able to get to mine
Right.
because I'm not logged in on your computer. We could do it that way if it'll still meet your membership criteria for your BrickTsar level stuff. But otherwise, yeah, next time we'll just put them in the StreamYard chat. That way they can chat with you and they won't feel so creepy. Because that feels creepy too. If I was there, I would feel creepy about it. I don't see them, so I'm not creeped out.
Yeah. Andreas Carlson, great show. Keep it up. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Cummings, there was also a polybag lighthouse set. We're talking about the lighthouses.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Lego, for breaking me of buying idea sets and lighthouses. I would like to get the set, but yeah, it's $300.
Yeah, they're getting too expensive.
Pascal Pettit, favorite game equals AD&D with the Lego mock. Is that Advanced Dungeons and Dragons?
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Did anybody ever play Risk?
Yep.
Yes. I used to love Risk. Probably played it wrong. Only me and one of my cousins played it, and
Yeah.
I don't know if we played it right or not, but we loved it. There it is.
I don't know if that's the one he's talking about, but
I think is that an older one? Or is that
yeah, 2011. I'm sure. Was there a new one?
Yeah, it was designed by Mrs. Johnson's first grade class.
As part of a DACTA set.
Oh, stop sharing. Where are we at? I've lost my mouse.
Oh,
Okay.
go down the lighthouse rabbit hole. There you go.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
Dad bod, I'm not sure, but I think the fuel pumper is supposed to be a stickered torso. I thought so too. The Exxon one, right? He's talking about the Exxon fuel pumper. I thought it was supposed to be a stickered torso too, but
it seems like it should be because that's like what 79. What year was it?
78. 78. So 554. Well, let's just look it up. Let's find
again.
out.
Inventories can be wrong.
Yeah. And there is no doubt that I could have the wrong minifig with it. So, okay.
It has two versions.
There we go.
It is a sticker torso.
Is it?
Yeah. And I don't think it shows the alternate as being not stickered. It's the two versions is no sticker at all, no logo, and a sticker torso.
Yeah, there's the sticker.
so
I got the wrong one.
So if you have the first version with no logo, you probably just have a generic minifig with a plain red torso, and you're calling it that fig.
Huh. Well, I wonder where I came up with that minifig at then.
Well, there is it's probably from the Exxon station.
Oh,
6375.
There was also a tow truck.
60. Wait, it is 6375.
There was an Exxon tow truck. It had an actual truck that you could sit in.
There he is. You're right.
What
is your logo higher up like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What sets was that in?
This is
it's in 7 sets. Or is that 2? I can't tell.
It's 7 sets, I think.
Okay.
No, 2 sets. You're right. 2 sets. So it was in. Oh, it's in the other pumper
the
truck.
Modern version of the fuel tanker.
Yeah. 1984 version and then the 1980 gas station.
Thank you, Dad Bod.
Yeah. Look at me.
It's a good skill to have for Bricklink too.
Oh, add it to your want list, Joey.
I know. I'll be having to find him now. Yeah.
Johnny G, love these old guys. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Dunkster Bricks, all have a copy of the same game and it will save postage.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we thought about that. We're trying to figure it out. Dunkster that was actually telling me he might be taking a trip close to me one day. So
I heard
that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Louisiana? Texas?
Yeah. Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Yeah, so we'll see if that happens. He was talking about it.
The water boy is a fictional character.
High quality H2O. Is that all of them?
That's it?
That's all the comments. Yeah,
we survived.
Survive.
We're actually on time with this one, so we have. But I was looking at the views. We're actually doing pretty decent.
Not bad.
We get pretty decent views on them. Some of them we get a lot of views.
Yeah.
But our average, I think our average is pretty good.
It's when Joey comes up with those clickbait titles that we get the
views.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just title this one YouTube Shorts. See how many people click on.
Oh, this is my idea for a short. I want to do a short about how shorts are stupid.
The thing, I will get back on the shorts. The thing about shorts, if you put them in with your regular channel, people go through and they thumbs up, thumbs down them in their shorts because they get recommended. I know there's no bad thumbs up or thumbs down, but all my shorts may have a higher click, thumbs up, thumbs down, but they will always have way more thumbs down on them. Whereas people are like, I'm not interested in that. It's not that they didn't like it, right?
Yeah.
But that's how the shorts kind of work. I'm not interested in that, so thumb it down, and you don't get them from me anymore. So it's always interesting. My shorts have way more thumbs down. They also have way more thumbs up because they've gotten recommended.
See because I've got during Mardi Gras I did a few shorts, and of course one of my they got like 15,000 views in like probably in like 5 or 6 days. Now it's probably still at 15,000 views.
Right. Yeah, that's what'll happen. You'll have those if it gets a spike, it'll get a big spike sometimes, and then it's flat.
But
they don't continue. They don't consider it evergreen. So once it hit its spike and it's done, it's done.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure YouTube will just buries it. So.
Oh, did anybody get the email? Billions. I got an email from Google, YouTube, and they said billions of people are watching shorts. Billions of people are watching shorts. Because they had 30 billion views on shorts, so they translated that. So that could mean 30 billion people watch shorts.
No.
Or is it a few 100,000 people watch millions of shorts or something?
Exactly. Yeah. What is the current population of the planet?
Like
30 billion.
8 billion, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So
for them to say anytime to say anything that billions with an S,
when does it get a view?
You're exaggerating.
So sometimes I'll click on a short because how the shorts come up in your feed.
Yep.
And I'll click on a lot of them but when you scroll to the next one, it's something you don't want to watch, and you scroll right by it. Is that one you scrolled right by?
It probably got a view for a half a second. Yeah. If it auto plays, it probably got a view.
Yeah, because so how legitimate is that? Because I could tell you, I might sit for 10.
And how much money did you make on the short? It's like.
Well, let's rant about Instagram.
What I'm saying is it's billions of views. That's not really a view. I just scrolled by.
No, it's not. It's the same with Facebook. Facebook was counting. People scroll past something. Oh, that's a view. Somebody saw it.
Well, Instagram, I know I don't know. I have made an assumption that because what's happened to me is as you're scrolling through and you get these recommended posts or whatever, if somebody talks to you or something catches your attention, not on your phone, and that one of those suggested things is on your screen or partially on your screen, I have found that whatever that was about, I will continue to get more and more and more of those because it stayed there longer, as if somehow I was looking at it. Well, I wasn't looking at it necessarily. It just happened to stay there longer because I quit scrolling and either talked to somebody or did something or laid my phone down, So there is a certain amount of time that they're looking at that. At how long did it stay there? And with the reels, it's like, did you watch? Did it play all the way through, or not?
I missed the time we made fun of vertical video.
Yeah, that is funny.
Okay, you want to get us out of here?
Oh, it's the end of the show. Oh no, I don't want to go yet. Well, we want to thank you for watching another episode of, what is this called? The A F.o.O.L Podcast. We are fans of old Lego. This is, as always, the last 2 weeks anyway, filmed before a live studio audience. This is the fastest growing podcast in podcasting history. We have doubled our audience in just 2 weeks. So, thank you, Dad Bod and A.F.o.O.L, for joining us. Don't forget, what's the Jacob bogey?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
What is that?
Leave it in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Subscribe to all of us because it helps. Give this a thumbs up so we don't start making shorts. And we'll see you in the next one.
See y'all.
See you guys.